Good evening. Stefan was on assignment today, and we begin with storm watch across Ottawa and Eastern Ontario. The brief break we had from the winter weather is over, and a snowstorm hitting the region tonight with high winds and disrupting traffic. Now, this is a time-lapse look of the snow as it was its heaviest. It started to blanket us around 6 o'clock this evening, and not much has changed over the past 5 to 6 hours. It is expected to taper off in the overnight hours, though. Here's a live look at the traffic along the Queensway. Again, east and westbound traffic at the moment is, we're not dealing with any collisions or anything, but we are looking at much slower traffic as people are taking it slow out there as the snow is sticking there to the highway. Now, things were a little bit worse on the 401 this evening. We had a look at the Brockville area. This evening, Brockville was hit with both freezing rain and snow. There is a yellow snowfall warning in effect from Environment Canada for the Brockville and Prescott areas, along with the Merrickville, Kemptville, and Smiths Falls areas for upwards of 15 centimeters of snow before this storm is all said and done. Environment Canada has issued again a series of weather alerts right across Eastern Ontario and the Ottawa Valley. Here in Ottawa, there is a special weather statement calling for 5 to 10 centimeters of snow throughout the week. The crews, they've been out patching up potholes on our streets, but today they switched gears, powering up the plows and salt trucks for tonight's storm.
Our main focus today has really been on making sure our equipment and our staff are ready, so getting our trucks put back into winter plowing mode versus we've been doing a lot of potholes, so it's really focused on getting that done. Making sure we had enough materials, salt, our liquid calcium chloride, and grit to respond to the storm.
City crews will prioritize roadways and sidewalks first. Now, the snow is expected to taper off again in the overnight hours, so if you are out traveling, you may come across some blowing snow and high winds. That also means reduced visibility for drivers and pedestrians. So we'll take our first check of weather this evening and what's happening. That's a look at the Byward Market as the snow was falling this evening. You can see snow sticking to the ground and blanketing cars as well as the streets here in the area. So here's a look at what's happening right now. We've got the snow that we're dealing with, expected again to taper off in the overnight hours, continue off and on snow for Saturday and for Sunday. Right now, we're looking at, for the next 24 hours, about -5, -6 that we'll be hovering at, again with some light snow toward Saturday afternoon. Again, snow is still falling right now. We're sitting at -6 degrees here in Ottawa. A 70-year-old man is facing a first-degree murder charge in connection with the city's 4th homicide of the year. Police say a 58-year-old man was stabbed to death outside the Rideau Centre yesterday. The incident is raising renewed safety concerns in the downtown core. Now, the stabbing happened just outside one of the mall's main entrances along Rideau Street between William Street and Sussex Drive, and it happened just after 5:30 last night. CTV's Tyler Fleming reports.
Right outside the Rideau Centre, a violent scene marking Ottawa's latest homicide. A 58-year-old man stabbed near the intersection of Rideau and William Streets just after 5:30 Thursday evening.
The paramedic tried to stabilize his conditions on scene and during his transport to the hospital, where he was in critical condition and unfortunately passed away in hospital.
Now, 70-year-old Yves Brisson of Ottawa is charged with first-degree murder.
They were not strangers. They were known to each other. We're still working on the sequence of events that led up to it and trying to identify a motive.
Police believe the victim may have been unhoused.
Police presence everywhere. Lights, sirens, roads blocked from Sussex to Rideau.
Shawnette Simon witnessed the aftermath while working nearby.
I had to help a little old lady last night because she was trying to find a bus.
For her, this is not surprising. Only days earlier, another stabbing nearby.
It's really sad to see what is happening in our beautiful little city, our beautiful little capital city. Where is the funding?
While the city promises to boost private security around the Byward Market,
we see vulnerable people in and around the Rideau Centre all the time. We know they're not getting the help they need.
Ottawa Councillor Stéphanie Plante says the plan does not address the root cause.
We know that our shelter system is inadequate. We know that our shelter system is oversubscribed. So I am lobbying every single day for upper levels of government to please, please, please start housing.
Simon fears without a real solution, Rideau Street will only get worse.
This is supposed to be a tourist attraction, is what they claim. I'm sorry, like, I just don't see it, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's just very sad.
Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
Meantime, a person under the age of 18 is now facing charges in connection to a stabbing near Algonquin College. Emergency crews were called to the area around 5:15 p.m. last Tuesday. A victim was found at the scene and brought to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect, who cannot be identified under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, is facing assault charges. And a driver is facing thousands of dollars in fines after being caught driving while suspended with no insurance. This is the third time in 6 weeks for the driver as well. Ottawa police say an officer stopped the driver in the area of Half Moon Bay in Barrhaven. The vehicle will be held until a court date in June, where the driver will face a $10,000 fine. Now, last weekend, Ontario Provincial Police charged 11 drivers for driving without insurance on Ottawa roads. Well, it's a major blow to President Donald Trump's key economic agenda. The U.S. Supreme Court striking down many of his tariffs, saying they were imposed illegally. But the president doesn't appear to be backing down, instead promising even stronger measures. In a 6-3 ruling, the Supreme Court justices struck down Trump's so-called fentanyl and reciprocal tariffs, but the decision does not change the steel, aluminum, auto, and lumber tariffs, which are still in place. Trump responded today by saying he will impose a new 10% global tariff.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed. I understand the court. I understand how they are very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy. I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country.
And there is no immediate relief for companies feeling the pain of the steel and aluminum tariffs. An Ottawa manufacturer battling through a year of turbulence, still dealing with uncertainty and planning for anything. CTV's Natalie Van Roy reports experts say it's too soon to know what could be next for trade between Canada and the U.S.
At Ambico in Ottawa, news of the U.S. Supreme Court striking down President Trump's global tariffs positive. But there is uncertainty.
Suffice it to say that since March, when the tariffs started, it's cost us well into six figures.
Ambico is a steel and wood door manufacturing company. 2025 was the most challenging in its 70-year history. Since March of last year, every month the company has extra costs.
U.S. steel probably cost us about 25% more than what we are paying for Canadian. Not just because of the exchange rate, but it's higher priced. So that has affected us, but it is affecting us less than the value of the tariff.
While Ambico has absorbed the cost, it still goes to the small business's bottom line. Experts say despite the Supreme Court decision, there are still risks ahead because it's not clear what the U.S. president might do next. In a statement, the president of Canada's largest private sector union warned against viewing the ruling as a victory, stating the risk to Canadian jobs remains severe, with the potential to even increase if Trump looks for new ways to impose tariffs or target Canadian jobs and investment. For Silverman, it's one day at a time.
It means a lot of communication with our customers to tell them we have their back as much as we can.
Natalie Van Roy, CTV News.
The Canada Revenue Agency says residents should have an easier time filing their taxes this year. The agency revamped its operations as part of a government-ordered service improvement plan focused on addressing call center delays. The CRA says it has streamlined its websites and hired more call center workers. The 2025 tax filing season begins on Monday and ends on April 30th for most taxpayers. OC Transpo is providing new information on bus cancellations in the city, and the numbers show a spike in undelivered trips during the second week of February. Between February 8th and 14th, more than 2,000 trips were canceled. Now, that's up from 1,500 in the first week of February. OC Transpo's current boss, Troy Charter, says the main reason for the increase was bus operator availability.
We need to provide mandated breaks every 4 hours for our operators, right? So if bus operators are running late because of traffic congestion and weather conditions, so you see that's why you see it more in the winter. If they're running late and we don't have an operator to fill in for that break, we need to give that operator that break. It's a legislative requirement to give them that break at that time. So that's why you do see that number go up, and it's, you know, it can be a challenge year round, but it's specifically harder in the winter when you deal with all those winter driving conditions and the increased traffic congestion.
The charter adds new bus drivers and mechanics are currently in training. City staff are recommending a new bylaw which would provide some flexibility when it comes to hardscaping. Under the new rules, 50% of front lots would be a hard surface, which includes a driveway and walkway. However, many homes already have a driveway that covers 50%, meaning those residents wouldn't be able to install a sidewalk on the right-of-way. And we're getting a look tonight at the income required to buy a home in Ottawa. According to a new report from ratehub.ca, Ottawa residents need to earn $129,800 to afford the average price home in January. Now that's down from nearly $132,000 in December. The average price for a home in Ottawa was just over $600,000 in January. RateHub calculates the average income needed based on a 10% down payment and 25-year amortization. Well, it was a comeback for the ages. The Canadians men's hockey team pushes through for a showdown in the Olympic semifinals against Finland. Here's another live look at the Queensway. East and westbound traffic, again, slow but steady. The highway has overall been maintained pretty okay. We are dealing with, again, some snow accumulating on the roadways, but again, things are moving slow and steady again this evening. All right, let's take another look at the weather and the storm that we're dealing with right now. Keep in mind, we are under a special weather statement here for the Ottawa area, looking at 5 to 10 centimeters of snow this evening, tapering off into the morning. Here's a live look at our Centennial Glass sky cam. Again, the steady snow was falling. We're sitting at -5 degrees here right now. So we'll take a look at what's happening through the satellite radar. Again, the cloud cover, the system that is flying over us right now, expected to taper off again in the overnight hours and linger around on Saturday and Sunday. As for tonight's lows, we're looking at -6 and snow for the Ottawa area here, -9 for Cornwall, snow there as well, -6 for Brockville, -3 toward Kingston. We're looking at -1 in the Trenton area, -5 for Bancroft, Pembroke, -8 for Kittagan-Seavey. But again, snow that we're looking at right across the region. We've got -6 for Petawawa, -6 for Gatineau, -8 up in Maniwaki, -9 in Mont-Tremblant, -10 for the Montreal area, -7 for Kemptville. Now, as for tomorrow's highs, we're looking at -5, tapering off snow here for the Ottawa area. Kittagan-Seavey, Brockville doing the same, -6 for Cornwall, -2 for both Pembroke and Bancroft, -3 for Kingston, -1 for Trenton, -3 for the Gatineau area. We've got clearer conditions toward Mont-Tremblant and the Montreal area, -2 for Maniwaki. Same thing for Petawawa, -6 for the Kemptville area. So for the next 7 days ahead, this is what we're looking at. Again, Saturday and Sunday, we have flurries that we're dealing with right throughout the weekend. Same thing for Monday. Sunshine on Tuesday, clearing out toward -10. But again, we are under a yellow snowfall warning for areas outside of the Ottawa area where we could see upwards of 15 centimeters of snow. Well, a heart-racing game leading to a finish that left Canadians beaming with pride. The men's hockey matchup between Canada and Finland will have turned into a semi-final thriller. But it would be the Canadian men taking the game to become gold medal contenders. CTV's Josh Miranda was at Lowertown Brewery today with local fans who were treated to an instant classic.
Nobody said it was going to be easy as the Canadian men faced off against Finland with a chance to play for gold on the line.
I told my dad at the start of this game, I did not want to feel like how I felt during the Czech game. It was the exact same emotions, the exact same feelings, and we got put in the exact same position.
While Canada was the favorite coming into the tournament, it was Finland jumping out to a 2-0 lead early in the second period.
We started 0-0, and anything can happen from that point. So, the other team scores first, you start gripping your sticks. I'm gripping my glass a little harder.
But then goals from Sam Reinhart and Shea Theodore would even things up midway through the third.
Truly, it's never in doubt. It's Canada. We breed winners here.
Before Nathan McKinnon secured the win, scoring on a power play with just 35 seconds left in the game.
The boys did it, and we know that they're going to do it on Sunday again, and it's our team for a reason. It's our game for a reason.
Canada will now play in the gold medal game Sunday with puck drop at 8:10 a.m. Premier Doug Ford says all bars and restaurants across the province will be allowed to sell alcohol starting at 6 in the morning, and reservations are already booking up at places like Lowertown Brewery.
We're pretty much full on the main floor at Lowertown. We are going to be opening up upstairs as well, which is under the same liquor license, so we'll be seating those. We already have 20 people upstairs in Rezos. We're going to be a packed house.
And fans say they'll be back for the gold medal game.
I'm going to talk to them after this to get a reservation for me and all my friends to come back here. Lowertown will be the place we watch the game.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
And it was not the outcome Rachel Holman and her team was hoping for at the games today. They lost 6-3 to Team Sweden in the women's curling semifinals. Team Holman still has a chance for a medal, though. They will play for the bronze medal game tomorrow. That'll be against the team from the USA.
The training effort that it took to get to the Olympics, and just to see that they can achieve their goals in life.
And students at L'École Secondaire Catholique Arnaud in Orleans, they cheered on Ottawa's Ivani Blondin, a former student. She raced in the 1,500-meter skate today. Now, while she did not medal, finishing in 8th place, Blondin won gold earlier this week in the speed skating women's team pursuit. But Canada's Valerie Malte did win a medal in this event today. She captured bronze in the women's 1,500-meter race, and this is her 3rd medal of the Games. And Canada also won bronze in freestyle skiing halfpipe. Brendan McKay got himself on the podium on his very last run. The 28-year-old finished 9th at the last Olympics. And taking a look at the overall standings, Canada still in 11th place with 4 gold medals, 5 silver, and now 8 bronze for a total of 17.
We're also proud of our heritage. It's been a big part of my upbringing, so for me to give back in this way and represent my grandparents and my parents, it's really special.
Up next, we'll have more from Milan. We meet some of the Canadian dual citizens competing for Team Italy at the Winter Olympics. Supporters of the University of Ottawa Heart Institute are helping light the capital red during Heart Month. Jennings Real Estate is lighting up its buildings on Hunt Club Road and Laurier Avenue West. The company says as one of the leading causes of death in Canada, heart disease and its impacts virtually impact everyone. Ottawa is fortunate to have a world-class research institution like the Ottawa Heart Institute, and Jennings Real Estate is proud to partner with them. Well, before we head back to Milan, let's check in on the Ottawa 67s hosting the Niagara Ice Dogs tonight at TD Place Arena.
Little saucer back to White, or Scott again for Cuda. Cuda across for Whitehead into the slot. They score! Cooper Foster!
And Cooper Foster, wow, he had a night. That's number 3 for a hat trick and his 200th career OHL point. Ottawa wins 7-1 tonight over the Ice Dogs. And with this win, the Barber Pools have officially secured a place in the 2026 OHL playoffs. Ottawa plays on home ice again on Sunday when they welcome the North Bay Battalion to the capital. Now, with all the excitement over Canada's men and women's hockey teams at the Olympics, it's easy to forget that the host nation squad on the ice is there as well. As CTV's Garrett Barry tells us, there are Canadians with dual citizenship playing for Team Italy.
Soaking up her Olympic moment at the Cauldron in Milan.
You know, walking in the streets, walking in the venues. Everybody's just so proud when you're wearing the colors.
Montreal-born Kayla Tutino has a lot to be proud of.
You know, we're very proud to be Canadian, but we're also proud of our heritage. It's been a big part of my upbringing, so for me to give back in this way and represent my grandparents and my parents, it's really special.
Tutino plays for Italy as a dual Canadian-Italian citizen. She scored the country's 2nd ever goal in women's ice hockey at the Olympics, which helped power the first ever win and first ever playoff qualification.
We wanted to show everyone, you know, what Italian hockey is all about, and we felt like we accomplished that.
To prepare, the team trained for weeks in Montreal, pretty close to home for Tutino and 4 other Canadian-born dual citizens. Among them, Kristen Guerriero, whose mother traveled to support her here in Milan.
I start crying just out of just sheer whatever for her, because she's always worked hard in every sport and everything she's ever done. So I'm like so proud of her. It's beyond belief.
The Canadian-born players will also compete with the Italian team at a Tier 2 World Championship in April, hoping to build on the new hockey momentum in Italy.
We went to visit her at the Duomo, and there was little children that wanted to take her picture with her. Today we were at the rink after to meet up with her, and some kids asked her to sign their flag. I was like, oh my gosh.
The Olympic ice surfaces will be torn up after the games are done, but politicians here in Milan have promised a new temporary structure starting in October to be followed by a permanent arena within 3 years. Garrett Perry, CTV News, Milan.
Well, still to come, there have been more reports of Canadian travelers falling violently ill after staying at a Mexican resort. And some allege the resort tried to get them to sign a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for medical care. Outdoor enthusiasts looking forward to the warmer weather? Well, we've got the event for you. The annual Ottawa Boat and Outdoor Show is underway at the EY Centre. You can check out the latest boat models, fishing gear, and lots more. This year is particularly special for the event. It's celebrating its 50th year. The event runs until Sunday. Well, we're learning more about an outbreak of an illness at a hotel in Cancun, with some people who became sick complaining the resort has tried to buy their silence. CTV's John Woodward explains.
Several fire trucks and ambulances lined up at Pearson Airport's Terminal 3 Thursday night called for 7 patients sick on a WestJet flight back from Cancun. No one went to hospital that night, but it may not be the only case.
You're cramping, throwing up. Your eyeballs feel like they're ripping out of your head. It's the worst feeling. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we've had COVID. This was worse than COVID for us.
Neil Matheson was on a flight back from Cancun the day before. He says he passed out on the WestJet flight home, his 19-month-old son now undergoing tests.
For me, I'm an adult. We could handle with kids and stuff. You messing with my kids, I don't like that stuff.
He and his family stayed at the Royalton Splash Riviera, a common thread among many vacationers who reached out to CTV News after our first story about many people in that hotel getting sick with norovirus or E. coli, several so serious they were hospitalized.
This is a terrifying experience.
Christina Wishlow's family went in December. She says they got sick too, and in a dispute with the hotel following that, she was presented with a contract that says she shall not directly or indirectly disclose the incident or any other perceived negative experience relating to the incident to anyone in any way, saying it is the intention of the parties to avoid and prevent publicity. The payment, 20,000 Marriott Bonvoy points, or about $200 Canadian.
Clearly, they're not trying to fix the problem. They're just trying to hide it.
Matheson said he was presented with a similar contract in exchange for a free doctor's visit that would have otherwise cost them $900. He didn't sign it.
We're humans. We have kids, families, and lives. And, you're trying to silence what's going on here.
No Canadian court would uphold a contract like that, says this tourism professor.
You need a doctor. Sign this NDA before you can go to the doctor. That's never going to be enforceable.
No one from WestJet, Royalton Splash Cancun, or the Marriott hotel chain returned our emails, but hotel guests say they'll talk about what happened, contract or not. John Woodward, CTV News.
All right, coming up, an annual celebration of Scottish culture is in store for the weekend. We'll have those details, plus one more look at the forecast when we come back. Another live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Now, the snow is letting up this evening. We're now sitting at -6 degrees here in Ottawa. So we'll have one more check on the weather. And keep in mind, we do have this special weather statement for the Ottawa area, 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. We'll be waking up to -5 degrees here for the Ottawa area as the snow continues. And also keep in mind, we have a yellow snowfall warning for parts of Eastern Ontario. Upwards of 15 centimeters of snow will fall after the storm passes through. All right, finally for us tonight, people will be braving the cold for an annual winter event this weekend. The perfect weather for it. The Kilt skate is happening Saturday at the Lansdowne Park Outdoor Rink. It's happening from 1 to 3 p.m. Scottish Canadians, they are encouraged to don their kilts for the event, but you don't have to wear a kilt to participate. You can also wear tartan. This year, the Scottish Society is partnering with the Ottawa Food Bank and will be collecting donations. Now, I wonder how many will be true Scots doing this if they're out and about. All right, well, that's CTV News for this Friday, February the 20th. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you again tomorrow at 6 o'clock.